Okay, so today we're going to talk about uses of zucchini or other squash in the homesteading kitchen. Uh, these are squash fritters, which is something I sort of slapped together. In here, I've got 2.5 to 3 cups of shredded peeled squash. I normally use zucchini, but you can use anything, including pumpkin. I've got 1/4 cup of shredded onion. I've got spices, put whatever spices you want in there. I've got 2 eggs. I used quail eggs, so I've got more than 2. I've got 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon of baking powder. You can back off a bit on that. Salt, whatever amount of salt you want, and a cup of milk. So we're just going to stir this up. Make sure you get everything incorporated real good. I have made this in really good big batches because it's actually good the next day cold. And I've actually frozen them before too, and sometimes I've frozen shredded zucchini to use in it later. Okay, so we're going to come over here to our hot oil. I'm using a combination of beef lard and ghee from our goat's butter. You can use any grease you want, though. Make sure it's nice and hot before you put them in there. Got them on a good high heat to start, and if I need to, I can always turn it down later. These are a little bit like pancakes in that you're going to have to be careful to check them and make sure they're done in the middle. And sometimes they're, what else with that? Sometimes they cook on the outside before they cook on the inside. I always add a little bit more salt while I'm cooking. While we're waiting for those to brown. These are our homegrown potatoes. Trying to use up the potatoes out of the garden that had cuts in them when we harvested. Okay, so we're starting to get good browning here already. You'll see the edges starting to get brown. Be careful when you flip them. Sometimes they spit back. See how lovely that is? They're kind of strange because they almost remind me like of an egg foo young, if you've ever had that at a Chinese restaurant. So they actually go really, really good if you're making a Chinese meal at your homestead. Like, you know, sometimes I like to make sweet and sour pork. It goes really good with that. Oops, I broke one. Even when these are brown on both sides, though, then it may not be done in the middle. So make sure you check it, okay? But these are so good, and they're really, really good with pumpkin too. But you know, if you don't want it savory with pumpkin, then maybe leave out the onion and add a little bit of sugar. But if you do want it savory, it's still good. So, okay, this has been Zucchini Uses Part 2, Squash Fritters.